Insurance denies roof claims, it's not what you think. Insurance companies aren't denying your claim because you don't have damage. They're denying it because they don't have documentation. This is why we use drones, AI technology, satellite imagery, and just good old roofing experience to document everything that might be wrong with your roof. You as a homeowner need a roofer with documentation standards. Call Absolute Restoration. Let us come and inspect, document, and present.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good evening and welcome back to another Mississippi Live Weather broadcast here live at 10 o'clock. I'm excited that you could join me here tonight for your Sunday night, getting ready for the work week ahead. And don't worry, I have good news. That warming trend we've been talking about all weekend long, starting tomorrow. So we're almost there. You've made it through the frigid day. Now it's only up from here as we get ready for the work week. But until then, we got to talk about the conditions we're about to experience tonight. We're going to see lows reach the teens tonight. So everything we talked about last night about these frigid conditions, overnight period dripping the faucets, tonight is going to be more impactful than it was last night just due to how low these low temperatures will go. So I want to make sure that you have the latest update and know the precautions to take as we get ready for the overnight period ahead. But also, the wind change is going to help us out. I was talking a lot about this in the 6 o'clock broadcast, but also that's going to help us kind of feel a lot better as we go about our Monday, but into our Tuesday and for the rest of the work week. That wind impacted our weather a lot today and will make a good impact tomorrow due to it shifting and changing. I'll be discussing that later on as well. And then as we wrap up our work week, we're going to see that warming trend. It's going to start beginning tomorrow. So we're starting tomorrow. It's going to go all the way throughout the work week. It's going to be an excellent week here in North Mississippi. Can't wait to spend it here with y'all and making sure y'all are updated the whole way here. So let's get started with the broadcast with some cameras. This is out live in Fulton. 21 degrees, feels like 10, and one of the reasons for that is that wind. We've been seeing these breezy conditions. This is 10 miles per hour coming out of the north. When it comes out of the north, we're going to feel a lot cooler than those temperatures are reading. That's because it's coming from the north where there are cooler Arctic polar conditions. That's coming all the way to North Mississippi, and that's what's allowing us to feel a lot cooler. Thankfully, that's going to start to change just a little bit as we get ready for our Monday as well. But 21 feeling like 10 out there in Fulton this evening. Let's take a live look out here on Mississippi State's campus. 23 feels like 14, and there we go. Northerly wind coming in at 8 miles per hour. So beautiful campus, a lot emptier now due to the students all leaving for Christmas break and hopefully not really experiencing these frigid conditions. But for everyone that went up north, I've already been seeing snaps of them sending me snow and these frigid conditions. So we're not having the snow, but we're definitely having those cold conditions tonight. But the first 12 shows us dropping into the low teens or mid-teens later on tonight. We're starting off around 20 by 11 o'clock, cooling on off towards 17 by 5 in the morning. We're going to be waking up experiencing these conditions as well. 8 o'clock, seeing temperatures around 19 with those sunny skies above. Thankfully, that has been staying constant overnight and into the rest of your day, slowly warming up towards eventually the low 40s for your highs tomorrow. But Mississippi Live Weather Radar still not tracking anything as we wrap up our weekend. We are staying dry and we are staying clear all across North Mississippi, which is a good thing. Definitely don't want anything going on. But it's times like these where we wish we could get some rain showers with how these temperatures are below freezing to start seeing some snow. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case tonight and going into your Monday morning. We are staying dry. But taking a look at surface analysis, that high pressure system, this is what's responsible for us feeling a lot cooler than what we've been seeing those temperatures outdoors. And that's because it's bringing in all that air from pretty much Canada up north. That's a lot cooler up here. So we can draw that out just a little bit, because I always love using the touchscreen and it's fun to do. So cooler air up here and high pressure system, it spins clockwise. And so it's bringing all that cooler air here towards pretty much just the south in general, but especially us here in North Mississippi. But what I'm about to explain is this high pressure system, it's going to start moving on along, and that's going to make our wind direction start shifting. So once it goes to our right, we're going to see that wind kind of start wrapping around and come from the south. And that's what's going to make us feel a lot better going into tomorrow, but pretty much for the rest of the work week. I know that's kind of complicated, especially just looking at it. So let me just walk you through it here on Futurecast so you can see what I'm talking about. Right now, we're seeing those breezy conditions coming out of the north. That's what's made us feel super frigid, super cold as we go about our day, and why those cameras are showing, why those cameras are showing those temperatures a lot cooler, those feels like values a lot cooler than what the actual temperatures are. But as we continue continue into the evening overnight period, that wind's going to start dying on off, not really going to be as breezy, and that's due to that high pressure system moving on across our viewing area and moving into Alabama. So now that it's to our right, if we want to draw it out again, that way y'all can see what I was talking about. It's got that clockwise spin, but since it's to our right and not above us, instead of it bringing in all that northerly wind, it's kind of bringing some southerly motion with it. And that's bringing in some moisture from the Gulf as well. And that's what's going to help us feel a lot better going into tomorrow and pretty much for the rest of the work week. That southerly wind allowing us to feel pretty much what those temperatures are reading outdoors. That's why it's such a stark difference between yesterday, today and into tomorrow. But the next 24 shows that we're starting off with temperatures around 17 degrees by 6 o'clock, seeing those mostly, if not completely clear conditions, staying clear all day long as we warm up towards the low 40s by 3 o'clock, and then cooling on off. Already going to be talking about mid 20s by the time we reach that 10 o'clock broadcast later on tomorrow. So it's still December here in North Mississippi. We're going to see these cold conditions, but also got to remember these are below average. We're going to slowly start making our way back towards those average conditions here in North Mississippi. Of course, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know going into the tonight overnight period, and then also what the rest of your work week looks like. All that's coming up in 1 minute.
What I thought was a complete life was nowhere near complete, but it is now.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lopon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lopon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Let's continue talking about these live cameras all across North Mississippi and those current conditions we're experiencing. This is live out in Pontotoc. Temperatures coming in at 19 degrees, but if you're outside, you are feeling like you're in single digits. 9 degrees is what it feels like outdoors. And what's the common denominator? That northerly wind coming into North Mississippi, allowing us to feel a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading. That's a 10-degree difference. And if we're already starting in the upper teens, you're getting dropped into single digits. So definitely going to be a cold, frigid night tonight, which means you got to protect those pipes and get those ready. Put on some blankets, insulate them, heat them up, treat them as much as you want to be treated going into this overnight period, because I know we're all going to be bundled up as we get ready for bed. That overnight planner shows us continuing to cool on off. We're starting around 20 degrees by 11 o'clock, seeing those clear conditions, but cooling off towards the mid to upper teens, 17 by 5 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be waking up to these conditions. So those layers that we had on today, get ready to start your day tomorrow with them. You're going to still want to keep them on all day, but technically tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than it was today. So definitely some good news on the horizon. But Futurecast still showing those clear conditions all across North Mississippi. Still seeing those somewhat breezy conditions as we wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. But that wind, it's going to start dying on off. This was in play the entire time. You can start seeing that high pressure system move across and get closer to our area. And that's what's stopping the wind from being as gusty, breezy throughout our overnight period and into our Monday morning. Not going to be as windy as we start off our day, and that's what's going to help those temperatures not feel as dramatic of a difference as we get started throughout our day, but continue throughout the rest of the day as well. But this is the main story as we wrap up our weekend and head into the overnight periods. Those low temperatures reaching pretty much the teens for everybody. Highest value you can see here is 20 in Cleveland, Belzona, and 21 in Greenville. That is the best case scenario, but pretty much for everybody else, we are in the mid to upper teens. So definitely want to keep those pipes protected. I keep harping on that, but I mean, if Monday mornings aren't already hard enough, we definitely don't want to wake up to any pipes that burst overnight. So let's take care of the necessary precautions tonight. But Futurecast still showing those calm, clear conditions all across North Mississippi, but also not as windy of conditions by the time we start our Monday morning. Tracking this out as we go about our Monday. We're not tracking out any weather or any systems moving on through, but there we go. That wind change. That's what's the difference between today and into tomorrow. We're starting to see that wind kind of come out of the south, which allows us to feel a lot better as we go about our day. Not going to be as stark of a difference between those temperatures outside and what we feel like. So let's see that right here on our high temperatures, pretty much low 40s all across North Mississippi. A lot better than what they were today as compared to the low 30s. 43 in Houston and Bruce, 41 New Albany and Tupelo, 39 Holly Springs, Senatobia, South Haven, Tunica, Clarksdale, and Cleveland going down the Mississippi River, 40 down there in Greenville. But the main story, those feels like values matching a little bit better as compared to today. So we're going to feel better going into tomorrow, but into the rest of the work week as well. That trend is going to continue and continue to increase as well, which is a good thing to see here in North Mississippi. But that futurecast still showing clear conditions as we start off our Monday evening. If you can't tell, we're not really tracking anything out as we start off our work week. This is going to be in play going into your Monday overnight hours into Tuesday morning. Still waking up Tuesday morning with those calm, clear conditions, and still southerly motion still affecting us here in North Mississippi, allowing us not to feel a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. But let's track out the rest of your Tuesday. Notice there's not a lot of pause points in here because we're not really tracking much out. That just went through all of your Tuesday. And then here we go, starting to see some of those clouds move in and also maybe some rain chances as well. Right now, maybe a 10% chance of rain for your Wednesday. The better chances are going to be Thursday, but this is at 1 o'clock overnight. So not really going to notice this occur due to all of us sleeping, not tracking anything severe, just a stray shower or two making its way across our viewing area. But those high temperatures Tuesday, we're getting rid of the blue, getting further and further away, starting to see some yellow pop up on this graphic, which is definitely a sight for sore eyes. Pretty much low 50s all across North Mississippi, 50 in South Haven, Tunica, and Senatobia, 51 Holly Springs, 55 Eupora, 54 Starkville and Columbus, and the Golden Triangle region. And those feels like values doing a lot better, pretty much matching up with those temperatures. There are a few areas still seeing a little bit of a decrease, but not as significant as what we're experiencing today. We were experiencing pretty much feeling like we're in the 20s. I think the worst difference we can see right here is South Haven, Senatobia, and Tunica feeling like you're in the mid 40s. So could still see a drop a little bit, but not as significant as what you've experienced today. So if you made it through today, you did good. This was the worst one, and we're going to start climbing up from this point on. And we can see that right here with our 7-day forecast. We're seeing highs around 41 for tomorrow, starting that warming up process. But the main story are those lows, pretty much in the mid-teens tonight. Take care of those pipes and the necessary precautions. Warming up towards 52 for Tuesday, 55 for Wednesday. Thursday is going to feel the best in the mid-60s and also see the best chances of rainfall coming in around 30%. Still, like I mentioned, you can probably imagine a 10% here for your Wednesday. Not as confident about those rain chances, but we're going to make sure to continue monitoring them all week long, especially as we get closer. Then we're seeing a dry into the work week for your Friday, seeing highs around 53. High around 60 for your Saturday, and then high around 67 for your Sunday. And those rain chances trying to come back as well. But of course, we'll make sure to keep you updated all week long here at Mississippi Live Weather. And no better way to stay updated with us than with the QR code here for your iOS and Android app. This allows you to download our app, which sends you those updates, those push alerts, but you can also go on the phone and see some of the graphics I use every night and pull them up whenever you need them. In case you don't want to pull up the video, you got them right at the palm of your hand as you go about your work week activities here in North Mississippi. And with the work week starting to come on up, we'll be back towards our weekday schedule. We'll be live in the mornings at 6:37 and 7:30. Our morning meteorologist Maggie McCauley ready to get up and early with y'all to get y'all ready to walk out of the door and make sure y'all are prepared for the cool conditions ahead. And of course, our chief meteorologist Matt Laubon and meteorologist Gabe Maynard will be back in the evenings at 5, 6, and 10 to give you the very latest as you continue throughout the work week here in North Mississippi. But I've had another phenomenal weekend here with y'all, another cool weekend. I'm looking forward to the next one as well. But until then, have an excellent work week, and we'll see y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center tomorrow.